Hi and welcome back to another game. Gamer's Delight 4541. That kind of comes with a funny story. I chose that name but didn't even know that name existed. That's why you see that I have the 4541 on there. The biggest update is yesterday when I was recording a flight sim and a train sim, I was just messing with the recordings and my computer crashed out of nowhere. The weather wasn't bad. There was no, didn't seem like a surge or anything with the electricity, but my computer crashed, and when it did, it would not turn back on. So I spent most of yesterday trying to figure out what was wrong. Well, I have two hard drives in RAID 0, two NVMe SSD drives M.2s in RAID 0, and one of the drives died. So I took it out and then tried to turn it back on, and the computer still wouldn't turn on. So I thought, well, maybe there was some kind of failure. Maybe the power supply failed or the motherboard. So I ended up pulling a stick of RAM out, and it still wouldn't boot. So I swapped the RAM sticks out, and I finally got it to boot up with one RAM stick. So whatever catastrophe that happened, it was pretty extraordinary that the fact that one of my hard drives failed and a stick of RAM died at the same time. So that's why I didn't upload a bunch of videos yesterday. So I went ahead and ordered some more RAM, and today when it came, I went ahead and put it in, and it booted back up with both sticks of RAM, and I just have one NVMe SSD installed. So that cut my already RAM amounts or storage down by half, and it's going to be a little while before I can replace it, but I still have enough storage to be able to continue playing trains. So that's my explanation and letting you know what's going on that part. The other thing is, when my computer crashed, everything on my drive is gone. All my Train Sim World stuff, everything that was recorded that was not uploaded to YouTube was all gone. I had some of it backed up on a storage drive, but I didn't have enough of it backed up. And unfortunately, Train Sim World also does not store our account to what level we are inside Train Sim World. So here I am back at level 2. I was doing a couple introductions for fun because I had to reinstall all the YouTube software, the whole 9 yards, and check and test to make sure the video was recording properly and that it looked good, because I am very particular about what the video looks like from Train Sim World before I upload it. And sadly, after I've recorded it and it gets uploaded, it doesn't look as good as what I originally recorded it. And the other thing is, it only takes about 5 minutes maybe to upload these large files, which 30 to 40 minute scenario may only be, well, they're usually about 15 to 20 gigabytes, and it takes less than 5 minutes to upload it to YouTube, but then it takes them 3 hours to process it. So that's why after I'm done doing a scenario, that's why it takes so long. It's not on my part, it's on YouTube's part. So because I've lost all my information on here, I'm either going to have to go through each one of the routes and pick out the ones I didn't do, or now that I've got this back up and fixed, I'm going to have to do every single route all over again. So I figured what the best way to do it is to start from the newest to the oldest route. Instead of jumping all over the place, I'm going to start redoing a ton of scenarios and then re-uploading them, and as I re-upload the ones for a certain each route, then I will start deleting out the old ones. I played 314 hours of Train Sim World in the past about 5 weeks doing all these scenarios. So if you have a suggestion on what route you want done, or you have a favorite train, post it in the comments or let me know. So for instance, if I'm going to do, let's say, the Birmingham route, I'm going to do all of them on the Birmingham route before I move on to, say, the Boston Splinter. And then I will continue to do all those. That way, after I get all those uploaded, then I can delete the ones I have. Some of them are absolutely terrible that I've uploaded, and I know that. But my Rail Driver, even though I've only had it a couple of years and hardly ever used it, all the time I've spent on Train Sim World, all the controls have become kind of loose, and they're sporadic when you hit even the brake. It doesn't matter which lever you use. You know, you could be sitting at 1% power, and when you barely push it up, it goes to 90%. Even after calibrating, it still don't work. So I'm also considering just trying to use an Xbox control or keyboard. And so that takes care of that about how I'm going to upload everything. I'm not going to do a video live right here, right now. I'm going to try to start re-uploading them tomorrow, but I just want to make sure my computer is stable and that I'm having no problems. Just want everyone to keep in mind my read and write speeds went from about 12 to 14,000 megabytes per second down to 7,000 megabytes per second when it comes to recording the videos. I know you've also probably noticed that there are some stutters throughout some of the routes. That's not me. That's all Dovetail. There's nothing I can do. I've tried everything possible to get rid of stutters and redone plenty of scenarios in the past, and unless they optimize them, they're not going to get any better. And I think the patch that they've really released fixed a lot of issues, and I plan on going back and redoing them anyway. I also like to say the horns and engine sounds. I also have a link of those inside my about page on YouTube. So if the trains sound different in the ones that I've uploaded compared to the ones you play on your Train Sim World, that's why. I have a lot of mods installed to change engine sounds and horns because some of them in this Train Sim are so terrible. And then I wanted to talk about the current roadmap coming up. Let's see here. Alright, we had a new route coming up towards the end of this month. I think it's pronounced Glossop line to Manchester, Hadfield, and Glossop. I'm not going to read all this, but looks like to be another decent route. Through all the time I've spent playing Train Sim World, you know, if people really want to think what I think about the pricing of the Train Sim World 3 add-ons, I think, yeah, they are slightly too high. But you also got to think how much time these people are spending placing objects and doing everything throughout these routes. I mean, it is extremely time consumer. You know, these developers make a lot of money, most of them, and it takes time to be able to make these routes. I thought the $30 USD was right on point, but when they moved it up to 40, I thought that was too high. That's just too much for even, you know, an average American or average person that buys these add-ons. I see that most of my watchers are in the United States, United Kingdom, and Germany, you know, and our economy is all about the same, and we're all getting stripped pretty hard right now with the inflation going on, and people just can't afford as much as they could even, you know, a couple of years ago because everything's so high right now. So it would be kind of nice gesture like they're going to be doing. This next route's supposed to only be $25 USD. But is it going to be the same quality as the routes in the past that are $40? And what I've seen throughout all the routes I've played, for the most part, it seems like most of them are pretty well optimized, but there are more German routes, and those are the ones that seem to be the least optimized. As far as all the trains go, I enjoy almost every single train inside this game. But them German routes really irritate me because Dovetail did not take the time to optimize them. It don't seem like it anyway. Those have more lag than more than any of the other routes that I've played on. And also see on here, they're also going to be releasing the Class 700. Now keep in mind, I'm not from the UK, I'm in Florida. I live in Florida, originally from Indiana. So I've never even been on a real high-speed train because we just don't have them. Florida's releasing its first 125, 130 mile per hour train across Florida this summer, which is really exciting because we just don't have trains. The only thing we have is freight trains, which are boring in a lot of ways and extremely challenging at times. You've seen how terrible I am at controlling the U.S. trains. I will continue to do the U.S. routes as well, but I still have to say the German and the UK routes still are my favorite. So, yeah, the Class 700 is going to be coming out. I'm looking forward to that. It also looks like Just Trains are going to be starting to work on routes. I didn't know they even made routes. So I think this is going to be their first one coming up. It's going to be released soon when it does get released, which I'll be pretty happy with that. They did a really good job with some of the Train Sim Classic routes. So if they release the new Gossip line at $25, let's just hope they're not going to try to throw out the Class 700 for $20, because you might as well have paid. That's $25, $30. That's $45 if you want to buy them together, and then we're right back to where we started at. So I think what I'm gonna do when I start out, I'm just gonna start out with the newest one, which is I can't remember the train line, but it's the steam route, and I'm just gonna start with one. The reason I had been jumping all over the place is because some of them range from 15 to 20 minutes to 2 hours. And I swear that some of these routes have never been tested, because some of them will say 60 minutes and it takes 2 hours to complete it. So it's like their own team is not even checking or taking the time to run their own routes to even find out if they work, or to see how long it actually takes to do it. I mean, by a lot of them, you would have to be going right on that speed limit dial to be able to fit it in with that time frame that you're actually going to actually fit what Dovetail says that time frame is going to be. Last couple things. I did buy SimRail, which a lot of people say it's going to be the one to replace Train Sim World 3. I don't see that. I played it for about 4 hours when I picked it up, and it's a cute little game. I mean, I just don't see the realistic. I mean, it does have multiplayer in it, and you can be a dispatcher or drive the trains. But to me, because there's really no decent tutorial or material on it to show you what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to just get in there and figure it all out on your own. I have watched a few videos on YouTube about it as well, and unless they start really optimizing this game and making some aspects of the game a little bit more simple, I just don't see this ever becoming a main source for trying to take over Train Sim World 3. And one other one that I picked up was Rail Empire 2, which that's kind of something completely different. I played it for a short amount of time, but I really didn't get really all that interested in it. I'm more the type that likes to get in and do. I like to get in and drive the train. So with most of that said, I do like most of the trains in Train Sim World. The only one I didn't really care for was probably the Class 101. I think it was a UK train. The ones where you actually have to shift gears. I did that in real life in a semi or truck, or I don't know what a lot of people you in other countries may call it. But that wasn't my favorite train. All the other ones, if they would just optimize the sounds, and if Dovetail would just put a little bit more work into making these sounds better and these engines better, and I mean, some of these are just small things that have ruined a whole route because they either don't want to take the extra time to put it in there, or they've just blatantly just ignored it, and I don't understand that, because that can turn a completely negative review into a completely positive review. So if you have any questions for me, or feel like if you want to donate anything like that, and you can go to my About page. I put a PayPal link or my link for donations in about every single one of my videos, because I do pay to have it's called Streamlabs Desktop. I pay for that. It's a live software, but I'm using it right now, obviously, for recording. But after I do get up and get some more subscribers, I will do more live streams, because it'll be more fun with us if there's 10 or 20 of us inside the live stream, conversing, versus just one or two. Yet every single person counts, and I will always see it that way, but it'll be more fun if there's at least a few of us. And as of right now, with only 61 subscribers, if I send an email saying let's go have a live stream, chances of even half of them jumping on there is very unlikely. You'll notice that if I was able to get up to 1 or 200, then maybe we could get 20 or 30 of them in there to enjoy it. And if you guys prefer that I do the route while talking while I'm doing it, let me know, or I can just do it every now and then. I've released these scenarios and did these scenarios so all of you could enjoy the scenario and make your own buying decisions based on what I'm doing. You can just go through and just watch each video the way that you like. So I will just leave it at that. Hopefully it won't take me very long to have to be able to replace the NVMe drive that failed on me. Like most of you, I mean, I'm not a rich person. Just because I am on YouTube making videos doesn't mean I have a lot of money. So donations do help. And just like I said in the past, I really don't have any interest in monetizing this channel to try and make a bunch of money like some of these YouTubers do with hundreds of thousands or millions or even thousands of viewers. I'm here doing something I enjoy while you're able to sit there and watch and enjoy it as well. So I will end on that note there. So hopefully I'll be back to doing some scenarios tomorrow, and I will start uploading. I will try to do, depending on how long each scenario is on each route, If they're not real long, then I will do like the whole route for that and try to upload it all on the same day. If they're several hours for each scenario, or over, like say, an hour, hour and a half, then it's going to take me a few days to do each one of the scenarios before I get them uploaded, and then I will slowly take the ones at the back, or the ones that I previously recorded, and then just delete those or archive those for the future. But if you haven't, if feel free to go through the videos that I have all the way back. I'm up to 199 videos. That's a lot of scenario to watch. So please, if you can afford to donate, please do. If you can't, don't. And if you have any questions or want a certain scenario for me to do, or maybe you're having problems with it, you can see I've had problems with some of the scenarios too. I went back to 2 of them, and I was able to complete them the second time around. So I don't know if it was just a glitch in the game. Maybe I did something wrong. But we'll see as I start redoing them and re-uploading them. My long-term goal was to start doing the services after I get the scenarios uploaded, but we'll see how long it takes for me to get most of these uploaded. And the main reason I'm going back and redoing it is because I'm going to back up my profile, because I was at level 105, I think it was, somewhere around in there, and now I'm starting back over at 1. I'm at 2 now after doing 2 10-minute short introductions, and after doing 312 hours and having to do a big majority over again. There's really not much I can do about it, but it'll be entertaining for all of us. So I hope all of you out there on this Saturday has a wonderful evening, morning, Sunday morning, Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning. I know a lot of you are already in tomorrow afternoon. Over there in Australia, you're like 15 hours ahead of us here in the eastern part of the United States. But I hope all of you have a pleasant evening, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I will talk to you soon and I will have another channel update after this gets rolling. So you have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.